Hi everyone, my name's Annick and I'm the project worker for the Family Law Pathways Network located in the Northern Rivers. Today, Tracey and Annick, the Community Development Officer from Interrelate, is here as well.
Hi, thanks everybody. Thanks for that, Annick. Annick and I will be talking to you about what's happening with our consultation regarding the Indigenous list. So over to you, Annick.
Thank you, Tracey. So welcome to NAIDOC Week, everyone. This is an opportunity for all Australians to come together and celebrate the rich history and the diverse cultures and achievements of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, as you know, being the oldest continuing culture on the planet. So as I introduced myself before, I'm the project worker for the Family Law Pathways Network in the Northern Rivers. So one of our objectives is to address the gap in the access to family law and other support services for Aboriginal communities. So as part of achieving one of these objectives, we've been running a project in Lismore surrounding the Indigenous list here at the Federal Court Circuit here in Lismore. So what is the Indigenous list, you probably ask? This is a list that assists the court in making culturally appropriate decisions and orders for families of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander background. So where does this occur? It occurs at the Family Law Court sittings here in Lismore, and the court is opened by having an acknowledgement to country. Elders are present, support people are present. It's a closed court and basically it's less informal than the normal court system. So where are we at with this project? So a draft proposal has already been prepared by Legal Aid. So now we're in the second phase of the project, which is the consultation with the Indigenous communities. So how are we going to achieve that? Due to COVID, there has been some challenges around implementing the project and actually going through the phases to achieve the end result. So we're hoping in 2021 to be really actively engaged within the community. The Community Development Officer, a member of our steering committee, Tracey and Annick, will be doing a lot of consultation. I'll be assisting her in the process and we'll be talking to people and getting them really engaged, making sure that we understand how this will impact them, how this will help their family, and how this will divert a lot of the children in the child protection system. So I'm going to hand over to Tracey now, who'll talk more about the Indigenous list.
Great, thanks Annick. Again, just wanting to acknowledge and that, happy NAIDOC. Usually NAIDOC happens the first week in July, but because of COVID, we've been unable to celebrate. So there'll be some celebrations now in November. As Annick said that, we'll be consulting with different communities in the area and I've got some great networks and contacts as well, having worked in this role for almost 6 years. So it's good in that way as well. Some of our biggest contacts are like Grandmothers Against Removal, the Wiali program with Carly Atkinson, DAMAR Consultation, which is a support service for men's business, Rekindling the Spirit and Jallum's Health Centre there. So there's some of our contacts that we'll be chatting to, and then it'll go out to the wider communities. One of the importance with the Indigenous list, if people wanted a bit more information, is that historically, unfortunately, there's still quite a lot of trauma and mistrust regarding the law. Family law is different, but anything to do with the law can you know, bring on some sort of trauma response with Aboriginal people, particularly with their children. And it's also quite confronting to actually sit in a courtroom, an open court with non-Indigenous people, and having all of their business talked about. I mean, that's how it feels for Aboriginal people when they're in the courts. And so the idea was raised, and I believe there's a pilot project happening in Sydney in the family courts there, around that we can have a closed court where the families are invited, anyone else significant in the children's lives, and elders that also might be able to help with decision making, so that the parents, mum and dad, can come up with some sort of a parenting agreement that'll work for them all, and it'll also help to support them to show that it's not about child protection, this is about family law, and we're trying to get the rights of their children to have a healthy relationship with both sides of the family, and indeed mum and dad. So that's the aim of the Indigenous list. We've already spoken to Her Honour Judge Turner, who sits in the family courts at the moment, and she's right on board with it all. We've got the draft, etc., and it's just a matter of getting it out there in the new year. So yeah, we will keep you updated for sure, and yeah, look, we're really excited about it, and hopefully it will support the community. Apparently the project in Sydney goes really well, and that's why they've decided to bring it up here to the Northern Rivers. So that's all from me today, so thanks very much for your time, and yeah, happy NAIDOC.